Yes, I'm looking at you, Hunter Biden, as I'm speaking to you. You are not above the law. You are the epitome of white privilege, coming into the Oversight Committee, spitting in our face, ignoring a congressional subpoena to be deposed. What are you afraid of? You have no balls. Have you provided all audio and video recordings in your possession to this committee, as we asked on July 15th, yes or no?
I would have to get back to you.
That is a no. You're full of shit today. You're just being completely dishonest.
Well, forcing this congressperson to go into a male restroom, is that dignity and respect?
Forcing women to share private spaces with men is not dignity and not respect. And I'm absolutely going to stand in the way of anyone who thinks it's okay for a man to be in our locker room, in our changing rooms, in our dressing rooms, in women's bathrooms. And in fact, if you agree with that, you're crazy, because that's not okay.
We have had dozens of trans people die this year because of the hate and lies that you are spreading.
God loves him, I love him, but his penis isn't going to be in my bathroom. So, at any rate, but we have a responsibility.
Can you define what a woman is?
A woman is a person who says she is. And let me just tell you one story about this, because when I was a child...
No, you're not going to tell me a story. We're not doing that right now. It's not story time.
Yeah, it is story time, because when I was a child, I was
not. I'm going to reclaim my time. Be quiet. I'm going to reclaim my time right now.
I have no idea how my statement got out.
Oh, wow. No idea.
That's bullshit. So, Mr. Chairman, and my last message to you, Hunter Biden, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Welcome to Congresswoman Nancy Mace's most savage moments. We're going to see her destroy liberals, call out politicians, and even say things that most politicians are not willing to say. If you want to see a specific section of the video, the sections or chapters will be listed down below here on the time bar. It's itsSeanDaniel here. If you guys enjoy this video, do not subscribe, because I do not continually make interesting, entertaining compilation videos like these. Do not subscribe. And if you want to support me even more, do not join my YouTube membership, where you can help support me and the effort I put forth to make these videos for you guys. Now let's start the video off with Nancy Mace calling out Hunter Biden to his face.
First of all, my first question is, who bribed Hunter Biden to be here today? That's my first question. Second question, you are the epitome of white privilege, coming into the Oversight Committee, spitting in our face, ignoring a congressional subpoena to be deposed. What are you afraid of? You have no balls to come up here and...
Mr. Chairman, point of inquiry.
Mr. Chairman,
if the gentle lady wants to hear from Hunter Biden, we can hear from him right now, Mr. Chairman. Let's take a vote and hear from Hunter Biden. What are you afraid of?
Hold on. Order.
Are women allowed to speak in here or no? Are women allowed to speak in here or no? Because you keep interrupting me.
I'll interrupt the chairman. I don't know that he's a lady.
I think that Hunter Biden should be arrested right here, right now, and go straight to jail. Our nation is founded on the rule of law.
Come on.
And the premise that the law applies equally to everyone, no matter what your last
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
It does not matter who you are, where you come from, or who your father is, or your last name. Yes, I'm looking at you, Hunter Biden, as I'm speaking to you. You are not above the law. You are too afraid to show up for a deposition, and you still can't today. I believe that Hunter Biden should be held completely in contempt. I think he should be hauled off to jail right now, because it wasn't long ago, too, my friends on the other side of the aisle, that you also believed in the power of a congressional subpoena. And my last message to you, Hunter Biden, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
She's looking at him dead in the eyes the whole time. That takes some balls, especially knowing how powerful he is. If he can get away with all the stuff that he's done, and his dad is the president, that takes some balls, especially when everyone else wants to hit it with little cotton pillows. Oh, Hunter, and not just, boom, bring it up for real, like Matt Gaetz does.
My Democrat colleagues say none of this is relevant because Joe Biden wasn't vice president while his family did these shady deals. Turns out that's complete and total bullshit. It's a lie. Hunter Biden referred to access to his father as the keys to his family's only asset. Those words are going to come back and haunt Hunter Biden and his family forever. The Twitter files were not just about Hunter Biden's laptop. Twitter files make it apparent Twitter worked overtime to suppress accurate COVID information. Apparently, the views of a Stanford doctor are disinformation to you people. I, along with many Americans, have long-term effects from COVID. Not only was I a long hauler, but I have effects from the vaccine. It wasn't the first shot, but it was the second shot that I now developed asthma that has never gone away since I had the second shot. I have tremors in my left hand, and I have the occasional heart pain that no doctor can explain, and I've had a battery of tests. I have great regrets about getting the shot because of the health issues that I now have that I don't think are ever going to go away. And I know that I'm not the only American who has those kinds of concerns. So my first question this morning of Ms. Gaddy, may I ask of you, where did you go to medical school?
I did not go to medical school.
I'm sorry?
I did not go to medical school.
That's what I thought. Why do you think you or anyone else at Twitter had the medical expertise to censor a doctor's expert opinion?
Our policies regarding COVID were designed to protect individuals. We were seeing...
You guys censored Harvard-educated doctors, Stanford-educated doctors, doctors that are educated in the best places in the world, and you silenced those voices. Okay, what makes you think you or anyone else at Twitter have the medical expertise to censor actual, accurate CDC data?
I'm not familiar with these particular situations.
Yeah, I'm sure you're not. But this is what Twitter did. They labeled this as inaccurate. It is the government's own data. It's ridiculous that we're even having to have this conversation today. It's not just about the laptop. This is about medical advice that expert doctors were trying to give Americans because social media companies like Twitter were silencing their voices. Did the U.S. government ever contact you or anyone at Twitter to pressure Twitter to moderate or censor certain tweets? Yes or no?
We have a program...
Did the U.S. government ever contact you or anyone at Twitter to censor or moderate certain tweets? Yes or no?
We receive legal demands to remove content from the platform from the U.S. government and governments all around the world. Those are published on a third-party website, and anyone can review
Thank
them.
God for Matt Taibbi. Thank God for Elon Musk for allowing to show us in the world that Twitter was basically a subsidiary of the FBI, censoring real medical voices with real expertise that put real Americans' lives in danger because they didn't have that information.
And not only was it detrimental to the principle of free speech, but imagine how many people got the shot that might not have gotten it if they had access to the proper information versus all the information just telling them to get the shot, get the shot, get the shot, get the shot. Oh, she's about to tear into the Secret Service director after Trump's assassination attempt. Let's go.
Director Cheadle, the American people are watching, and they're wondering if there are any questions you can answer honestly today. So, Director Cheadle, I have a series of questions, very specific questions. I want very specific answers. Most of my questions are going to demand a yes or no answer. Do you understand?
I do.
My first question. Both sides of the aisle today have asked for your resignation. Would you like to use my 5 minutes to draft your resignation letter, yes or no?
No, thank you.
Was this a colossal failure?
It was a failure.
Yes or no? Was it a colossal failure is the question, yes or no?
I have admitted this is a terrible...
This is a yes or no series of questions. Was this a colossal failure, yes or no?
Yes.
Was this tragedy preventable, yes or no?
Yes.
Has the Secret Service been transparent with this committee?
Yes.
Would you say the fact that we had to issue a subpoena to get you to show up today as being transparent, yes or no?
I have always been
yes or no? You didn't want to answer the question.
Committee.
We had to issue a subpoena to get you to show up today. That is not transparent, by the way.
Good point.
You stated earlier, Secret Service is not political. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Would you say leaking your opening statement to Punchbowl News, Politico's Playbook, and Washington Post several hours before you sent it to this committee as being political, yes or no?
I have no idea how my statement got out.
Oh, wow. No idea.
That's bullshit. So, Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask...
We got more cursing. Here we go.
I have no idea how my statement got out.
Well, that's bullshit. So, Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask unanimous consent to enter into the record articles by Punchbowl News, Political Playbook, Washington Post, all done at 5:24 a.m., 6:12 a.m., 6:34 a.m., a solid 3 to 4 hours before this committee got your statement.
Without objection, so ordered.
I have no idea how it got out, Miss Mace. I have no idea. Bro.
Is the Secret Service fully cooperating with our committee?
Yes.
Okay, you say you're fully cooperating with this committee. On July 15th, this committee sent you a list of demands of information that we wanted. Has the Secret Service provided this committee a complete list of all law enforcement personnel that were there that day? Have you done that? Have you provided a list to the Oversight Committee? Yes or no?
I will have to get back to you on that.
That is a no. Have you provided all audio and video recordings in your possession to this committee, as we asked on July 15th? Yes or no?
I would have to get back to you.
That is a no. You're full of shit today. You're just being completely dishonest.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr.
Chairman, I want to.
Come on.
We have to maintain decorum in this committee, no matter how
Have you provided
upset we
any
get.
and all memos to this committee that we've asked you on July 15th? Have you provided all memorandums within the Secret Service?
I would have to get back to you on that.
That is a no. You are being dishonest or lying. You're being dishonest here with this committee. These are important questions that the American people want answers to, and you're just dodging and talking around it in generalities. And we had to subpoena you to be here, and you won't even answer the questions. We have asked you repeatedly to answer our questions. This isn't hard. These are not hard questions. Have you provided us all communications from the Secret Service related to that day and that rally? Have you provided this committee? We've asked for this information on July 15th. Have you provided any of this information that this committee has asked of the Secret Service? Any of it?
I'll have to get back to you.
Have you even read this letter that we sent you? Did you even read this?
Yes.
Okay, and you have said you don't know, you have no idea. Well, the answer is no. We haven't gotten a single document or piece of information or data from you or your agency in related to the rally that we have asked you for.
That's terrible, man.
So, was this attempted assassination of Donald Trump a failure of training or execution or both?
I think that those are answers that we need to
Training,
examine.
execution, or both? Which one?
I think those are answers.
All right. How many Secret Service personnel have lost?
No. It was a success, I think, of planning. Planning by whom? We don't know. I don't know about failure of planning, but a success of putting and following through on a specific plan. Because look, she's acting like she doesn't know anything. Oh, I have no idea. Nah, she's trying to save her own ass. She can't say nothing.
I think those are answers.
All right. How many Secret Service personnel have lost their jobs due to this colossal failure?
At this time, none.
How many Secret Service personnel have been required to take a refresher course on how not to let people shoot Donald Trump?
Our personnel are currently operational. We are examining the facts of this investigation, and we will make the changes necessary.
What time did law enforcement become aware that there was an individual on the roof with a clear line of sight to President Trump?
I am still verifying timelines.
Of course, 9 days in, you have no answers. How many minutes went by between the time law enforcement saw and took photos of crooks and the shooting? How many minutes?
I am still verifying
57 minutes.
It's bad,
Thank you, Mr.
man.
Chairman, and I yield back.
She is not messing around. We're going to see that the whole video. But these people, like Secretary Cheel, they have no soul. They will sell their soul to keep their job, even when they're willing to have other people possibly be killed. Nope, I don't know anything. I got to fall in line, follow the orders because I want to keep my job because they have dirt on me. DC is a slimy place where everybody has dirt on everybody. That's what I've learned when I used to work in politics. Man.
Which leads me to my first question, Ms. Wiley. Can you define what a woman is?
A woman is a person who says she is. And let me just tell you one story about this, because when I was a child...
No, you're not going to tell me a story. We're not doing that right now. It's not story time.
Yeah, it is story time, because when I was a child, I was
No, it's not. I'm going to
called
reclaim
a
my
boy.
time. Be quiet. I'm going to reclaim my time right now. Biological women are real women. A guy born as a man who wants to pretend to be a woman and put him and his big Jim and the twins in the locker room with underage girls, or his little Jim and twins, by the way, is disgusting. I have a daughter. She turned 14 last year. I took her to a store called Aerie. for her birthday. We went shopping for an hour in downtown Charleston, South Carolina. She was taken to her dressing room by a biological male in a miniskirt and a lace bralette. It is disgusting. I have no idea if that man was over 18 or under 18. It is absolutely disgusting that we're redefining what women are and allowing men into women's private spaces. And by the way, Ms. Wiley, I am a survivor of rape. I was raped at the age of 16. I am not going to put other women and girls into unsafe situations where biological men with their willy-nillys out, putting women and girls at risk. It's absurd, it's disgusting, and I have 1 minute and 50 seconds left of my questioning. Do you believe, Ms. Wiley, that you need to have a PhD in biology to know what a woman is? Yes or no? Is that a yes or a no?
I first want to say you are right. Out of time. I am so sorry, and you should never have had to suffer from sexual violence.
You need a PhD in biology to know what a woman is. I've been rape shamed by the left, and I'm not going to allow any of that stuff to happen today. Do you believe that you need a PhD to define what a woman is? Yes or no is the question.
I think every woman is able to define herself as a woman.
It's not how it works. There's biology and science. I would encourage every American to follow the science. When biological men are in a bathroom with them, Ms. Wiley, yes or no?
We have every reason to want everyone to be
safe.
Can't
even answer the question.
We are
so
not
the left,
safe
everybody
or
listen
unsafe.
to the left today. They cannot say yes or no when in asking whether or not there are risks to women when biological men are in the bathroom. Can't even say yes or no in the hearing today. This is lunacy. This is absurd. This gender-bending ideology of the left is disgusting. It's absurd. It's absolute lunacy, and it is a mental health issue in our country. If you agree with this ideology of allowing men into women's spaces, you have a mental health problem in this country. I don't have to go on about the Planet Fitness in Alaska just a few weeks ago or months ago where this guy in his boxers is in the locker room shaving, and there's an underage girl in a towel in the locker room with him. This stuff is disgusting, and I'm going to do everything in my power as a conservative woman in this country, in Congress, to protect all of our women and girls from this lunacy that's happening in the country today. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.
This takedown foreshadows, again, what we're going to see later with Nancy Mace taking a stand on this new Congresswoman coming into power, who's a transgender, and how she does not let this woman who's actually a man use the woman's bathroom. The he, she, thing. Oh my God, so confusing. You're a man.
When this issue came up in Georgia, providers told me that they were worried, even when you make an exception for the life of the pregnant person, that they would be
pregnant mother.
For the pregnant person,
female,
that they
woman,
would be
mother.
That they would be
Pregnant
challenged
mother.
as to when it's appropriate to make the decision to perform an abortion.
The fact that she has to fight to get a qualified witness to say pregnant mother instead of pregnant person?
You can't or won't answer our questions, or maybe you're ignoring me right now as I'm speaking to you. You can or won't answer questions about whether or not the federal government funds sex change surgery on kids. Some on the left are calling that gender-affirming care. Quite frankly, it's worse than that. There's no scientific data to support it. And just because someone doesn't agree with chopping off the private parts of a 15-year-old doesn't mean we are bullying children. And I find it offensive that my colleagues on the other side of the aisle are calling us bullies because we don't want to chop off the breasts of a 15-year-old girl. And we certainly don't want the federal government funding it. In the tunnels this morning, socially distant from anybody else. I had COVID. I've had 2 vaccinations. I'm washing my hands. I'm even wearing my mask inside the chamber, but I'm not going to wear it anywhere else. So, Madam Speaker, come and get me.
This is just a little foreshadow of the way she challenges some BS rules in Congress and really makes some great changes in Congress.
Man guilty in murder that became a GOP focus. You would never believe it, but this headline is talking about Lincoln Riley's killer, a guy who was here illegally, a criminal, illegal alien who was just found guilty of murder. They're saying he's a man guilty of murder
that became a GOP focus. You're damn right he's our focus, because this guy came here illegally. He's a criminal. He murdered an American woman, and he only got life in prison. He should be sent to the death penalty tomorrow. And it's disgusting the way the radical left and our mainstream media present this as just some random dude. It's not. This is someone who came here illegally. They're a criminal. They're a murderer. And they need to be fried. Okay, we're done with this.
I don't know many other politicians that would be willing to say this person needs the death penalty. There are some, but not many. I can't believe the difference. This is the difference in people we have running our country, legislators. Nancy Mace here, who's going to take a stand, and then the guy in charge of the committee wearing a damn mask. First of all, looking like an idiot, but second of all, wearing a mask when he's already socially distanced from people.
Coming from South Carolina, we've got voter ID, and I'm assuming Texas is the same way. Do y'all need IDs to buy alcohol when you're purchasing at the store?
Yes, to be sure that you are capable of doing that.
Right. Do you need an ID in Texas to buy cigarettes?
You can't buy them unless you're at least 21.
But do you have to show an ID to buy cigarettes?
You have to show an ID.
Do you need an ID when you're getting a job and trying to get on payroll in Texas?
Yes.
Here we go.
Do you need an ID to go to the pharmacy and get a prescription in Texas?
It depends on the prescription.
But do you need an ID for some prescriptions in
you
Texas?
do. Yes.
Do you need an ID to get Social Security services in Texas?
You do.
Do you need an ID to rent an apartment in Texas?
Yes.
Do you need an ID if you're going to buy a house and finance it via a mortgage in Texas?
Yes.
Do you need an ID in Texas if you're going to board an aircraft and fly commercial?
Yes.
Did you fly commercial or fly a private jet on the way to D.C.?
A chartered plane.
Do you have to show an ID when you fly in a private charter jet?
Yes.
I wouldn't know. I've never flown on one.
Now, this might not be a viral, amazing clip, but it showcases a great point. Look how many things, at least in Texas and in most other states in the U.S., that you can only do if you have an ID. But some states, some lawmakers want to push for us to not even need an ID in order to vote.
I have several questions I want to get to, so I would just ask that you answer them quickly. If you filibuster, I will interrupt you. But in May, the department abruptly canceled a $374 million contract to replace the system with a more modern version. Who's responsible for that decision?
I believe that's under the purview of the Office of the Undersecretary for Personnel and Readiness.
Okay, do you believe if you're in charge of wasting $374 million on a contract that you should keep your job, yes or no?
I would not characterize that.
So you don't have an answer. Got it. All right. The defense travel system has incurred over $965 million in improper payments from fiscal year 2016 to 2018. Exactly how large will that number get if the system remains in use?
I don't have the answer.
You don't have any answers?
If government officials run departments and they continue to lose money and are not profitable, should they keep their job? No, I can't answer that one. Can't answer that one. No, they got to keep their job. There's too many coordinated games and agreements going on in D.C. No. You can't just lose your job if you get bad results like everywhere else in America. And now we're going to get to Nancy Mace's battle with this new transgender woman, Congresswoman, who was a man and transitioned to being a woman. Because Nancy had this amazing battle. We're going to go through the clips. She introduced a measure to ban transgender women from female bathrooms in Capitol Hill because this woman, who was born a man and was now in Congress, is going to try to use the women's bathroom. Here's Nancy's response to all the backlash she received from introducing this measure.
The radical left is calling me an extremist for being a feminist, fighting to protect the rights of women and girls. If being a feminist makes me an extremist or a bigot or a monster, I am totally here for it because I'm going to fight like hell for every woman and every little girl across this country to protect you and keep you safe.
So what is this?
This says you can't erase us, Nancy. Well, then you shouldn't try to erase women. I have to say, for Any man that wants to be in a woman's restroom, bathroom, dressing room, locker room, absolutely not.
This shouldn't even be a big deal. This should be normal.
That being a feminist makes me an extremist. I'm totally here for it.
Is this effort in response to Congresswoman McBride's coming to Congress?
Yes, and absolutely, and then some. I'm not going to stand for a man, if someone with a penis is in the women's locker room, that's not okay. And I'm a victim of abuse myself. I'm a rape survivor. I have PTSD from the abuse I've suffered at the hands of a man. And I know how vulnerable women and girls are in private spaces. So I'm absolutely 100% going to stand in the way of any man who wants to be in a women's restroom, in our locker rooms, in our changing rooms. I will be there fighting you every step of the way.
Now this reporter thinks he's going to get her in a gotcha moment. Doesn't work out so well.
Here she goes. Here's Congresswoman Mace. Congresswoman Mace, can I ask you a question as you walk here? So the question is, with your piece of legislation about banning women from using...
100% yes.
My question to you is...
Ready. Go far enough. I'll be filing more bills.
You have said that it was created in response to Congresswoman-elect McBride.
100%. And
but should legislation be created targeted at one specific person?
It doesn't mention anyone in the legislation, but
you've said it was aimed at her.
No, I have said it's a result of this. I'm not going to allow biological men into women's private spaces. I will stand in the brink and stand in the way of anyone on the radical left who thinks that it's okay for a penis to be in a women's locker room or a bathroom or a changing room. Hell no. I am not going to stand for it. And the speaker said it would be in the House rules package. If it's not, I'll be ready with a motion, a privileged motion to force a vote on this. This is not okay. I'm a survivor of rape. I'm a survivor of sexual abuse. And I'm not going to allow any man in any female private spaces.
Now, Speaker.
End of story. And by the way, I'm getting death threats from men pretending to be women. Why is it that these crazy people, the insanity, the radical left, are willing to kill women over a man's right to be in a women's restroom?
Speaker Johnson has said he wants to treat every new member with the words dignity and respect. Forcing this congressperson to go into a male restroom, is that dignity and respect?
Forcing women to share private spaces with men is not dignity and not respect. And I'm absolutely going to stand in the way of anyone who thinks it's okay for a man to be in our locker room, in our changing rooms, in our dressing rooms, in women's bathrooms. And in fact, if you agree with that, you're crazy, because that's not okay. It's not okay.
These people like this reporter, they're so evil that they try to get you in a word battle to pick apart the quality principle that you're standing up for about not allowing a man in a woman's bathroom. But Nancy is not having it, and she's sly enough to see where they're trying to put her in a corner with the words.
Hey guys, I am at the airport making my way back home to the Low Country in South Carolina. I just spoke at an event with a couple hundred people. Some trans lunatic tried to rush the stage and attack me. And he is just making the case for me that we don't want penises in women's spaces. F off. And I just had a woman come up to me and get in my face about it, and I told her to F right off. I'm not going to tolerate it, and I'm going to fight harder and bigger than ever before. I will be the giant you can't take out, and you can't bully me into submission.
And here's this lunatic that she's talking about that tried to rush the stage.
I have a lot of responsibilities too. Ro and I.
I'm sorry. You're living with that in real time right now. This is ridiculous. It is the day after Trans Day of Visibility. We have had dozens of trans people die this year because of the hate and lies that you are spreading. And if we want an internet, are we building an internet with free speech for everyone or just the privileged few? Are you going to stand up for the lives of trans people, black and brown people? Are we fighting for justice or are we fighting for big tech?
We respect freedom of
God
speech.
loves him. I love
That's
him,
right.
but his penis isn't going to be in my bathroom. So, at any rate, but we have a responsibility. If you're pro man watching me undress in a dressing room.
All those idiots that booed. This is the most basic thing, but it just shows you how out of touch and how it's a gradual seduction of principles and It's a gradual degradation of principles and standards to destroy the country, put people in vulnerable positions, destroy people's lives, have people get hurt. It's just gradual.
Hey everyone, I told you I wasn't going to stop with Capitol Hill. I'm filing another bill tonight that would ban biological men from women's spaces on all federal property all across the country. This fight starts here. It starts now. Men are not allowed in women's spaces, period. Full stop, end of story.
Now, Nancy can be a little brash, but she is taking a stand. When so many other people would just curtail and sit down and be like, oh, it's okay, they can pass this, it's okay. No, she's like, screw that. Now, she might be a little overboard where she's cursing in congressional hearings. That's not really respectful at all. You can still make your point without cursing like that. But still, she has great fortitude and courage to take a stand on so many of these issues and say things that many other people are not willing to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed some of these clips of her most savage moments. It's itsSeanDaniel here. If you guys enjoyed this video and you made it this far, okay, I'll allow you to subscribe if you want. And if you want to support me more, you can join my YouTube membership, submit a super thanks donation with the thanks button. Thanks for watching. Wait, that's better.